Let's do it.
Yo!
Yay! Good afternoon. How are you? Uh-oh, some lag. No! Did we lose him already? We lost Ben right away. All right, well, while Ben is frozen, I hope that everyone can see me all right, and I'm just going to move forward. Yeah, he's we'll see if we get him back soon. All right, so today we're giving away a Stella. So the comments, type in Stellar Women Rule to get a chance to win that. And I'm going to remove him for a second. So it's just me, I guess. I'm going to bring up screen share. Why is it only now? It's only saying, are we doing all right here? Let's actually take a look real quick. Hopefully we'll get Ben back. Seems like doing all right. Yeah, we are live. That's interesting. All right, well, hopefully we'll get Ben back. And at the moment, while we're doing that, I'm going to bring up Stella's. So a viewer today will have the ability. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Hello.
There you are.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you froze before.
Yeah, I don't know what went on.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm going to bring us back to here for now. Okay, now we can actually start the show. I almost felt like a sinking ship for a second. I didn't know what to do. I was like shoveling water. That's how lost I was for a moment. But how are you?
Really good. I've just been doing my Sunday task, which is sending out the liquidity pool rewards for Drift. So I've started sending those out for the Interstellar pool. So I shall be continuing with that when we finish up this afternoon. I've had a really good drink last night, and my head is like it's a marble, my brain inside my head. So bear with me if I'm not on form for the first 5 minutes, but
that's all right. We lost you for the first two, so you got water. Is that water or is that more alcohol?
Yeah, water.
Well, good. I'm glad you've got water. I've got coffee.
Yeah, I need to do the water hydration first before I do the coffee dehydration.
That sounds good to me.
Let's make sure that we're. Let's try and refresh this competition page first of all, because we want to be collecting your comments if you're listening. Stellar Women Rule.
We've got 4 people at the moment. It's a little slow this morning, but hopefully they'll come in eventually.
Okay. I'm sure we will. I'll share it as well on Twitter if you can share, guys, if you're listening.
Yep. Oh, I shared it all over the place, so it might be just one of those mornings. But we are giving away a Stella. I'm going to bring those up, actually. Yeah, I had them up before.
So talk us through this. Why you've obviously got them on the screen. Talk us through the whole Stella.
So it was a little bit of sort of. It was kind of like a creative hibernation, if you will. I got into a little bit of a lull after I finished the round of gangsters, and I was looking around at collections, and I had been talking with Dixie Retrockin over on Twitter, and she does a lot of promoting and a lot of different things for Action Token, Beer Token. And she's been trying to get Stellar Women to take off. She wants really a sort of multi-collection sort of idea, a project for women artists to have their projects highlighted, um, not just on just on the Lightman page, but on a website altogether, showing all the projects and having merchandise and sort of copying a little bit of what boardroom is like, not necessarily with the boring aspect, but more of a club thing, airdrops. We're looking into a couple of women's organizations to maybe partner up with to really bring the collection some unique utility. And it kind of came out of nowhere, and it was really obvious to me that night that it happened, because I said to myself, Stella's. And I was like, oh, well, gee, why hasn't this already happened? And it's just one of those things that I guess, I don't know, maybe it was just waiting to happen. I'm sure someone would have thought of it eventually, because I've seen people even refer to Stellar as Stella. So it made sense to me. And yeah, that's where these came from. Essentially, guised under, a profile picture collection, but we'll see where it goes. Did you freeze again? He did. My goodness. We lost him. Oh. Boy. You're having one of those days.
I'll tell you what, I can't actually, I've had to link through to my phone.
Okay.
And
we're just still gathering viewers here.
So yeah, so I got to you were talking to Dixie, and you were having some idea with regards to
chat is down. Hold on, there seems to be some problem on YouTube.
Okay.
Somehow
I've posted a comment myself. Are people struggling to post comments?
There is a problem. This is embarrassing. I'm going to jump over the channel.
Your fault if there's software issues.
Well, no, I think it somehow got switched over to kids. Oh my god.
Do you need to do another link?
I'm going to see if I can get that off of here and see what happens.
Okay.
And go back to the dash. Let's see here. Let's see what that does for people. Go back to the live. And yeah, you guys should be good now. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. That might have been a problem. A lot of people, I don't know what that was all about. There we go. Okay.
Okay, happy days.
Yeah, I think so. Somehow it got restricted to kids, so no one was able to comment. Anyway. Oh, now that we're here, I mean, did we lose Ben again? We keep losing Ben, so that's fun. I was talking with Jack earlier, and he had remembered how when he was on the show, I missed it, and now we keep losing Ben here, and that's hilarious. I'm glad everyone is here. I'm glad we can see the comments now. So sorry about that. So you guys were listening. Good morning. Finally. Okay, now I feel better. Here we go. We've got our comments. We've got a Ben. Hopefully this is the third and final take. If not, I will set my computer on fire. Everybody, type in Stellar Women Rule for your chance to win a Stella and get into the club. So if you guys were listening to what I was talking about before, you're going to get a unique opportunity to get a Stella. I gave people who are already Stellar holders last night some Stella wine.
So go just talk us through, because I missed most of the Stella women conversation. So
right. So the idea with Stella's is that Ben, is that I came up with it one night very randomly. I was thinking about a women's collection. I was looking at women's collections. A lot are made by men. We're trying to get more women on the network. Rockin' Dixie over on Twitter has been using the Stellar Women's hashtag now for weeks, months, so we've been talking a lot about projects and how to get things going. And it's like a week and a half ago, I was just sitting at my computer one night and the word Stella came to my mind. And I was like, wow, that's obvious. That's so obvious, I was like, wait a minute, didn't I have like 2 great aunts named Stella? And like my whole my mind just started churning, and I just started, getting a lot of inspiration from women in my life, and it's just a lot of fun. So we're looking to get some utility behind this, and it being action token NPCs. So in the action verse, your Stellas can be used as an NPC or maybe more. We're figuring out how that will work exactly. They like the idea, so we're going to run with it once we figured out what exactly that is, and we'll have more news on that. And then, so the Stella Club, you'll get airdrops for NFTs. The first 4 that came out they had wine. They were toasting to you. So I gave out 4 Stella wine bottles with a little bit of cheese, and there's only 4 of them because those are the first 4 holders in the first week. So that actually makes it pretty rare. Some people got some rare digital wine. Rockin' is a workhorse. She sees something, she's inspired, she wants to do it. So a website is coming. We will have a Telegram group and a Twitter page. We're trying to get all that done, and get it out in a very well-planned manner. We didn't just want to jump on it. We don't have a lot of time spared, so it's a slow-going thing. But she's on the beer token project, and they also have a drinks idea. So she's looking into the possibilities of us getting a Stella wine bottle out there with some company. Who knows? She really is, I think, the behind the scenes driving force for what could happen on this network in the next year, and it's exciting. I think she's a wonderful person, and a very interesting business woman as well. So.
That's where I like it. I think it's right up my street. I like the fact that you're trying to branch out into new areas. I think that women in crypto. I mean, I've been saying to my wife for too long, she's a shitcoin queen.
That's a good design.
Yeah, I've been saying to her, she needs to come and start educating. She's really clever. She's a really great marketer, and she's really clever. And I said to her, you need to come into crypto and just educate people and go out there and educate women, because she's got a real knack at how to do it. And yeah, she's busy, but she's starting to learn a few things about wallets and transactions, and she's getting up to speed now. So I hope that this year we'll see her come in and as well. And you're right, a lot of women are out there that can absolutely crush this. So for you to be, building out collaborations with these women that are forging new paths is great stuff.
Well, it's one of those things. It's like when I created the Stellar Punk collection, it wasn't exactly defined that it was a man or a woman behind the helmet, And when I came up with the comic book, I wanted the main character to be a woman. I came up with Lady Punk because of Heather, my wife. I think I'm pretty damn sure she coined that name. So that was immediate. The people around me, the women around me, have been a huge inspiration for my life and motivators, and I don't know where I'd be without them. So it's always come back to me in my art. And being from a comic book world, been a real balance for women to like comics, normally drawn by men, because we all know what women normally look like in a superhero comic book for the last 30 years. It's like, very skimpy clothing, just hypersexuality. And that's not necessary. There is a point to being sexy or what have you, but there's another thing to perpetuate a certain standard that just isn't real. And I've been trying very hard in my career as a comic book artist to balance that out and to show guys that they can do this without having to be looking for a certain aspect of what women need to be on a page. It's just it's a little much, and it's still happening. I mean, it's better these days, but it's still a thing. So
I think we're in really dangerous times, and I'll tell you the reason why. There was obviously a very big issue, but I mean now we have social media, which is like what you're talking about on acid or steroids. Where my daughter, she's coming 15 in the autumn, and I mean they look to now. Before you'd have to buy the comic or see the billboards, these kind of things to kind of witness that. Now it's in your face 24/7.
It's even worse. It's uncensored.
Yeah,
it's
uncensored. And you're getting where girls are going, well, I have to look like this 1 in 10,000 women. Do you know what I mean? Like they're so because it's just that is just
that constant feed. I mean, look, when I talked to high school kids in Canada last week, and the girls in those classes had great ideas. Really strong messaged ideas, fun idea projects, and they're going to be working on these. These kids, I think they're going to be stars. They want to know about this now at 15 and 16 when we only just learned about this a few years ago. So they're going to have they're going to have their whole lives to do this. So I'm hoping that will help things, but it's a balance. It's a real tough balance out there in the art world, because it's like self-expression and artistic, sort of styles and things. But yeah, it's hard when you're a parent. How do you handle the just everything? It's like it's all of it. You get everything at once, right?
Yeah, I think it's you've hit the nail on the head. Really, it is a balancing act, and I think you've just got to try and do your best, and to relay that amazing and brilliance doesn't come in a specific body size or shape or anything like you're trying to say there. Some of those kids in the classroom, no matter what gender or what race, religion or whatever they have, can be absolute winners in whatever they choose to put their mind to.
Right.
And I think
some of their questions were even about that, focusing on body positive and cultural, appreciation. It's like these are things that these kids are going to have a particular voice about, Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think it's a slow process, but I think it's one that is actually beginning to turn. We are seeing that. I mean, I don't actually understand. I mean, I ask myself many of these questions centered around this very topic myself. Why is it like 85% of people in crypto are men?
Right.
I mean, why is that? Why? I don't understand when women are probably more naturally more creative spirits.
Yes.
And I think creativity and crypto go together. So why isn't it 85% women rather than I just they're just
Well,
things
maybe
that
the numbers are askew. Maybe there's some problem that they're not looking at the demographics properly. Because I could think about, like, as a video gamer, like, I've been a gamer my whole life, right? And that's a thing that still would have been considered a new industry, but now we're looking at 30, 40 plus years as an industry, right? So, people said for the longest time that women, girls didn't play games. They weren't video gamers. And then as time went on, the demographic showed that it was 50-50. And it was probably always 50-50. It's just that there weren't enough people taking note, right? So I feel like if maybe, in another year or two, those numbers are going to look very different just because of time and then the amount of interaction. I think it's one of those things, isn't it, that maybe there is more already that we're just not seeing the numbers for it.
Yeah, I think I'm just purely going on a reflective term. When I say look at my Twitter and look at Telegram and these kind of things, and of course there's a lot
mostly
of
dudes.
There's a lot of anon people, but you kind of go in blocks of, most of it's guys still, isn't it? And you kind of get there with their lingo and that kind of thing. You pick up on the fact that even if they are a teddy bear or whatever bloody profile pic they are, that it's a guy. Maybe behind that, in the way that they just conduct themselves generally.
Yeah, I think we're half and half on Stella collectors being 2 women and 2 guys. So we'll see how that we'll treat this collection as a demographic. But moving on, people are typing in the Stellar Women rule for a chance to get into the Stella Club.
And of course, we're getting some really good. Let's because Dixie's a shining light, isn't she? But we've got Lemon. She's crushing it over with JPEG. We've got the Nola Massive. We're in the Nola Massive with Drift Exchange, of course. She's doing some amazing things since she's been in the space. We've got Debbie that's always bobbing around every chat I go into. Debbie's knocking around. So
and we've got Nettie's a great artist on Stellar, and there's more women showing up like all the time. Glitch Cat, and there was some of their names I'm not familiar with them yet because they're so new, but there are more women appearing on the network, and that's just really we mentioned it. Heather's in the background. Heather writes lore for the JPEG DAO, and we'll be writing lore for Stella's. So, they're everywhere.
We've got Ellie from Nuna. I spoke to her in a meeting a couple of weeks ago. She's a lovely lady as well. So she's heading up. We've got women that are heading up projects as well.
There's definitely a lot of them heading up projects, and I think it's just more about getting people out in the open. So.
And we've got AL Art. I'm not going to even try and pronounce her name.
Right.
But she's really super talented as well. I mean, that's just off the top of my head.
She was the first artist on Lightment, so she's been around longer than all of us. That's
she's
cool.
She's super, and she's really
a fantastic
nice.
Artist. She's so good. I own a few of her pieces as well.
And she's and to go with it, she's she has the Dablo kind of humble, really, really super cool person to work. And I mean, I've been doing just going off on a tangent for a second, but I've just been doing my usual fun bits where I went on to Google Translate to say something in Russian back to her. And it come up with loads of symbols and stuff. And I was like, how do you even begin to speak this? Do you know what I mean? How can you even learn that stuff, mate?
It amazes me when some people are like, I know 7 languages. It's just like, wow. I mean, I guess, this is just how amazing our brains are. I think you could do it if you really took the time, but
I think it's just when I look at letters, when I was driving in my camper van or going through Poland, through the mountains and everything, I was loving it, mate. It was beautiful a couple of years ago. And I'm looking at the signposts and think, thank God for sat navs. Because I was looking at it and there's not enough vowels in the bloody word. And there's about 20 letters in these town names. And they're all like Z's and W's and that. And I was like, how do you even begin to pronounce this to know? And I kind of go, if I speak to someone like in my kind of foreign English, and I kind of try and speak about where I need to go to and try and pronounce something, and they will go, "Oh, you mean?" And then it sounds like completely different than anything I could pronounce. So fair play to them for being able to, do multiple different languages at the drop of a hat.
It's an art form in itself. I think learning languages, just
So
how
what are
it's
we
pulling
looking
up
at?
some of
What are
the
we looking
art.
at? What are we looking at now? We're on Drift Exchange, are
I'm
we?
looking at some Drift Exchange, NFTs here. I suppose I should pull up. I don't think I have the right wallet up at the moment, but use your Drift tokens, people. Get some cool art.
Well, we've got some really, really cool stuff coming from Drift Exchange. So while we're on the topic of Drift
This is
Exchange,
why I brought it up. It also had some owl art on there. You've got her. You've got like all these sort of animal gangsters that I'm guessing you commissioned from her that are awesome. But now I'm looking at what am I looking at here? Is this X Racer stuff?
yeah, X Races has started running yesterday. So those people that want to get involved in X Races, you can go and buy the pieces you can see at the top there, the engines. Yeah, the four
The
different color
engines,
engines.
right?
You
Right.
can
There's
buy the
three of them
engine.
right now.
Yeah,
So I want
I
a
think
helmet.
maybe we've just gone for three. I think
No. I think it's on the fourth. I'm on page 5 here. I could just get. I think I'll pull up.
Oh yeah, okay. So there was
There's a
four.
blue one.
So you can buy those for 100 XLM, and then the two other things you
thing.
need to do is to get the different pieces. Is you need to provide liquidity into the liquidity pool, Drift and XLM, and then you also need to be holding a certain amount of Drift, 200,000 Drift in your wallet. If you do those things, you get the three different parts, and then what you need to have is you need to trade those with the team, and then you need to have all the same color. If you get all the same color, then you get into a racing team, and then that racing team will win one of 4 different prizes, and it's all in the Medium post. So if you want to check that out,
great. Because I think I was talking to Colette last night. She bought all of them, and she was unsure of what they did and how it works. So I'm glad you're talking about this right now. So you said if they buy a color that represents a team. They need the NFT and they need to be in the liquidity pool. What's the minimum amount they need to be in the liquidity pool?
0.1%, which at the moment I think is around $100. So $50 of Drift, $50 of XLM. If you're in that pool, then you get the third piece. The second piece, and then if you're holding, you get the third piece. And there's going to be a random snapshot between the 5th of March and the 23rd. So if you're in the pool, you must stay at 0.1% or over for that time period. And there's also, you need to have 200,000 Drift in your wallet.
200,000 Drift in your wallet.
200,000 Drift, and then you'll get the third. So what you see on the screen there is the 3 different things: the helmets, the wheels, the engines.
Right.
And you get them then if you get the 3 different pieces. So you get the 3 different pieces: the helmet, the wheels, the engine. Then you have to get the same color by transferring with different people. We're going to have the chat feed where as soon as you've got those pieces at the end of the month, you can then transact with each other and say, right, I've got the blue selection of all the 3 pieces, and you're in then, and you're onto a guaranteed prize. And the guaranteed prizes are all on the Medium post. So Cheesley's taking care of the X Racer, so he's doing the whole X Racer thing, and it's really cool.
So here's your helmets, here's your tires. So helmets will be, so people will get helmets from
the helmets and the wheels are going to be the 2 that are going to be dropped to people who are doing the liquidity and doing the holding. The engines are the ones you have to go and buy an engine. So you can buy 1 engine, or you can buy 2 or 4 like Colette did. It's entirely up to you. But if you buy, you can also have multiple collections. So you could have maybe your red selection, and they could be in team 1. You could be in red team, and then you could also have a collection that's in blue team. So no matter which way round, you're going to get 2 prizes for those 2 different collections that you've made.
Great. Well, since I'm co-creator of the Extreme Crew, I don't play that game, so I will be playing. What? All right,
Well,
I'm gonna do that later.
I think the thing there's been a little bit of confusion with the inclusion of the Extreme Crew and this game. What we've been doing, as you know, is we've been having the first 2 months, January and February, were gangsters and jokers, and they had the game pieces that you created for us, and they would get airdropped to people at different times throughout the month. And then if they return them back to us, they would get a prize. Okay, that's how we operated. Okay, now in the third month, being March, which we're in now, this is the X Racers game. So this is like what we've been doing, but it's a completely different game. So every month that we have a Drift Exchange has a different game. This is nothing to do with the Extreme Crew.
Right.
The Extreme Crew are those people out there that pay top dollar for NFTs from yourself, $1,000 NFTs, but they get a host.
Oh my God.
A host
all
of
the value.
First month, I think it was like $200 and something back in NFTs, in tokens, airdrops, and of course now we've gone into the puzzles, right? And the puzzles. And this weekend, I'm a little bit behind, so it's probably going to be tomorrow. But we're starting to bring in the drift dollars. And the drift dollars are going to be collected when they make the right decisions. So when they make the right decisions in the games, they're going to earn drift dollars. And the drift dollars are then going to have a purpose coming down the road. Drift dollars are going to be a digital collectible. They're going to be just sent out to these people. But rather than me going, oh, okay, you've made the right decision, there's nothing behind it, they collect a drift dollar. So they have to agree within their club which angle to take, left or right. It's always a binary A or B, right? Hit or miss. If they make the right decision, which they've just made the right decision, if they make that decision, then they get some drift dollars. They get the drift dollars and they collect the drift dollars. And much like the Drift XO2, right? Then the Drift XO2 has a purpose for these collectibles. This will have a purpose. Maybe it's going to be a heist. They can pay to join the heist. Maybe it's going to have another purpose. But down the road, the drift dollars will have a purpose. But this is for the high rollers who are paying $1,000 for an NFT. They get my time. I make the stories, as you've seen. I share some on Twitter, little bits and pieces of it.
So much fun.
So I do all of it's called Select Your Quest, but that's one aspect to the Extreme Crew. I also airdrop them token out of every month. I also give them airdrops in a variety of other tokens that I'm buying for them. I also do a whole host of other things that we're going to be bringing to those. But last membership did not sell. That was the boss. Yeah, this is coming as well. This is coming.
This is something else that I've seen.
This is
not my art. This is Cheesley.
This is Cheesley's piece. So this is going to be something that they're going to be getting. There's going to be a big twist at the minute. They're currently in Central Park. They've just had a big hand land on their shoulder after they've seen a girl that's helped them out when they got a nasty stab wound in the arm. Have a girl help them out, and the girl's appeared in Central Park. She's covered in blood. She's screaming, and they've just had to incapacitate the person who stabbed them. And then now they're going to see the girl to see what she's crying about. And then in the next 2 days, it's going to be a big twist where all of a sudden something is going to happen that they're not expecting. So it's really exciting. And I'm trying to hold I want to be part of this Select Your Quest journey. Yeah. I can't because I'm writing it.
Right. So, well, you're the game master. That's one of those things. Like I remember back in the summer, a lot of us were talking on Discord about like starting Dungeons and Dragon games and playing and grouping up and doing D&D games. And it was one of those things where like we all were really excited about that idea, but we were all people that were really busy. So it was like a fool's errand to think that we were all going to get together and find time to play D&D while creating projects on top of projects. But then you came along and started this thing, and Jack's got his mystery school, and he's been playing puzzles with people now for the last week and been doing other puzzles prior to this, and it's just so much fun to see people taking these ideas with NFTs to a more daily sort of typing out kind of level. Like we're spending a lot of our time in front of our desks anyway. But now people can play along in this sort of interaction kind of mode that I don't know if people are really doing outside of Stellar with NFTs. I don't really know if I see a lot of this anywhere. It's usually just a lot of take your NFT and, you know, stake it or whatever. It's one of those things.
Well, you know that I've been speaking to you about and Nor when he was knocking around about these kind of select your quest, you know, or choose your own adventure. You've got to be a bit careful with copyright, but you get the idea where you get like an option at the end of the page, you know, which way you go. So I sit down every night. I go in now and I don't have computer time, right? So I have to get away from the screen. I sit down with my wife. She's watching a bit of telly or something, and we're just having a conversation. And then I'll write the two options. So I like kind of write it out on my notes, and then I keep her in check. So I say, right, do you remember where we were at the story yesterday? What do you think about these two? So like I keep giving her these options. Like, so she's like kind of my test reader, so to speak. Yeah. So she's enjoying the story. And yeah, I think you're right. This stuff is not being done. Yeah. I did say to the people that were coming into that, you know, you're not just paying $1,000 for an NFT, which people do for the art, and your art is clearly in these comics that you're creating with the gangsters, especially. I mean, that's really, really super quality artwork. But it's what they're getting extra, and it's not, for me, it's not always what you get is not always in that. Here's some extra tokens, but it's like you're getting part of like a very, very exclusive. There's only 7 members at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's a very exclusive club. Any NFTs or little drops. Last month we had a Dablo piece. We had a skull. He's got the hood up. I mean, like 4 of those were, or 3 of those were actually claimed. So only 3 of those are knocking around. So you're getting a Dablo
really
piece.
Rare. I mean, there's not a lot of them. We're not talking about there's like 1,000 people playing or like something like that. No. As much as that would be cool, but that would really that would change things too. You would need more help on your end if you had like 1,000 crew members, you know, and that'd be really cool to have one day as well. But
well, I'm looking at trying now to distinguish maybe having 2 levels. So having like this level, which I'm doing all the stuff with, I'm about 3 days away, I think, from finishing the website, and there's going to be like a coded access onto some of the websites, so only the Extreme crew can get access to the certain part of the website. But then I'm also going to look at trying to explore. So Cheesley and I have been talking about this sponsorship idea that he's really kind of been the icebreaker with the boards, going to projects, going to artists and saying, hey, you know, if you want a little place you're obviously the lead artist of the Extreme crew, right? You do all of the pieces for us. But then with some of the stuff, like you said, Sir Cheesley, with the weapon there and some of the other bits and pieces I need along the way, and with Dablo and doing that, the skull with the hood up, etc. I want to showcase them on the website too at the bottom. So I want to kind of promote them so that people can go to the website for like comic book fun stories that I will make available for everyone. But then there'd be another tier to it. So it's not like because $1,000 only entrance, right? It makes it exclusive, but it also doesn't make it as inclusive as I'd like it to be. I want it to be for a lot more people to have access to. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at making it so we might have lots more members. But for what I'm doing, it has to stay exclusive for those $1,000 entries at the moment.
Yeah. Well, I'm hoping you'll start to see some new people jump in, because we've the last couple of weeks, a lot of us have been really putting the word out there, and I've been doing these Twitter spaces with Nola and Sam every Saturday now. It's only been a couple of weeks, but you know, there's a lot going on also with the South by Southwest hackathon that's coming. You know, that's being sponsored by Stella. I almost call it Stella. It's just it's really cool to see what's happening right now as a start, because you know, I think as time goes on, we're going to start to see a little more you know, interaction from outside uh, collectors and things. And I think about what you might want to do with the game with the unlockable content to be added to Lightment, which is supposed to be today, but you know, time zone things, you know, we'll see when that exactly goes live. You know, that gives people a unique opportunity to immediately get something right away when they buy an NFT, whatever that may be. It might be another clue to the puzzle or something, you know, something really rare that they may even want to just not claim, because that's sort of like a big incentive for a resale point is, you know, you have this sort of little thing that can really boost the value. And we haven't had that ability. We've sort of been giving people stuff, right, and interacting a lot. Having that as an NFT like coded option sort of just ups things to another level. Like with Cheesley with his board games, you know, he can stick those right in there if the file sizes are appropriate. You know, so then when people buy the NFT, they get the game. It's right there. You know, he doesn't have to send it to anybody, you know, or anything like that. It can sit right there on the NFT. So it really makes me wonder where we go in the coming weeks, months, how we plan out our projects with that additive being a thing now.
Well, I mean, we remember when we were talking at the NFT night that we did back at the tail end of last year, and we were talking about, you know, what are some of the things that we, you know, I was asking the artists, you know, what are some of the use cases that you see with NFTs, you know, in the future. I think now we're starting to see, like you say, with the lockable content, and you know, I know that Jack's, you know, the poetry side, and I spoke to you guys, you and Heather, about, you know, how we do like our own stories, and these have been things that have been brewing for a while, I think. And for me, you know, I kind of see myself maybe stepping away from crypto in so much as doing the stuff that I've been doing in 2022 and going into maybe doing stuff around NFTs where it's like maybe stories and that kind of thing. I don't know, but like some other area of creativity in crypto, not stepping away from crypto as a whole, but maybe just moving kind of areas within crypto.
You are the like tease, you know, you tweet about things and people are like, you're not going to leave crypto, and you're like, well, I'm going to do something, and no one really knows what you're talking about. And I'm just like, I sit over here smiling some days when I see you like driving people crazy.
Yeah, I talk in riddles a lot of the time. People are like, "What's this dude on?" I think that it's just the way that I go about things. But yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. And what I'm trying to get at is there's going to be NFTs are going to go in so many different areas. And like you see with the video games you were talking about, and you know, giving away the punk loot, which I was very thankful for. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. There's going to be really,
you know, all the bits and pieces that we're starting to investigate now. But for me, you know, I think this kind of puzzles and stories, and when we talk about engagement, I'm being a marketer myself, right? So yeah, being really interested in how we get attention. How do we get people's attention? I think we get people's attention in a variety of different ways, but one is by being really engaging with something, isn't it? You know, right? You know, you really want people to be coming back and like, oh, let me go and check Discord and see if there's another page of the you know, the Extreme Crew journey that's just unfolded. Oh no, nothing yet. But they're coming back and checking. And that's what it's all about. I think when you're a really good marketer, you can make something with puzzles or games or whatever it might be, and you can get that engagement. And I think if we can do that and we can do it well, that is going to bring a lot of people to the network. Because like you said a minute ago, it's a unique thing to be having this kind of stories and games and all the stuff that we're doing, isn't it?
It really is. Like I look every day at NFTs. You know, it's one thing to be like an NFT artist and to just be bogged down with your work and pay attention to yourself. You know, I've always been very much a person that likes to take in as things as they're going on, and you know, when you look at what everything is being done in NFTs right now, it's all really good. It's great. It's fun. But most people are just copying one or the other, and that can be fine too, because you don't know really where to get your ideas, and everybody's sort of just learning and maybe new ideas come out of structures that they've carbon copied. But I don't at all every week see anyone doing this kind of stuff on a Discord or a Telegram. Mostly those things are being used to just further pump their collections or do a giveaway or some such thing that provides like just fluff news for holders, so they feel like that the collection is actually worth what they paid in Ethereum, because that's what we're talking about here, is that most like collections I'm seeing where like people are engaging, it's an Ethereum network project, and then it ultimately leads to somebody throwing like a Molotov cocktail through the window and going, the collection's on fire, everybody get out. And then then another one pops up, and it seems to happen over and over again, and that's not fun. That's not utility. I mean, people are promised a pixel Pokemon knockoff game on an Ethereum blockchain that they paid 3 Ethereum for one of them, and they look like garbage, and they're reselling for 4 times that. People are buying it because it looks like crap. That's not playing along, right? That's not a game. That's something else altogether that I just don't know what people are really thinking when they want to make NFT gaming. Like, this is like close to a real world sort of game as you can get. Like, you're a month away from sending people outside and doing a scavenger hunt and hunting down QR codes and whatnot for the sake of NFTs.
Yeah, well, I've been. Again, I don't want to tease people, but I've been speaking about how to do like really cool stuff. Like, there's a guy called Chicken Tacos. I'm not sure of his real name, but it's it's a cool Telegram name. And he is like he made a bot for us. He's a really cool guy as well. And I was speaking to him about, okay, how do we make a Telegram bot that has a password, and then you can open other content in Telegram with this bot, but you need the password to get it to work? And he's just like, what are you talking about? Like, but he went, I get it. And then like, he goes, I know, because we can't give them the password. I said, I want to use memos, because memos on the Stella network are great, right? Because we can give a little piece of information, but it's open for people to read. So I was like, okay, well, how can I get a password in part in a memo, and then another part somewhere else? So you're doing a scavenger hunt online for different pieces that you need to collect, and you collect that, then you have to unravel the password from the pieces that you've collected, and then the password you have to put into the Telegram bot. The Telegram bot then opens up a thread. The thread gives you a link. The link takes you somewhere else. You get the idea.
Yeah.
Like, this process is like, for the Extreme crew, is like, in itself is probably like 2 months of development to make sure I speak to the right people to get the right, even with like the website and having a coded access to the hideout. Okay, the coded access. How do I step that back and then break the code so I have to crack that code to get access to the hideout? It's like, yeah, what the stuff we're doing is not being done. It's as simple as that.
It's true. My cat's so excited about this. He gets it. He's pumped. He's unbelievable. Yeah, he's like full on, like, just so excited. I think, dude, I really love you, man. I love your mind. I think that this is really just an ever evolving thing. Like, I know a lot of the stuff we talk about, and I'm not going to like bring up too much of it because we don't know what we'll use, but it's just a lot of fun to see that people are really enjoying it this much. As few as there are, I think that even makes it even more unique.
Oh, I actually really like it, mate. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. The few people is cool. I mean, I put them out probably every 2 weeks. And to me, it's not like, if I was like you and I was the artist that, was putting work out, you obviously want that to sell and be a popular collection. But for me, I'm like, I don't actually give a monkeys whether this sells or not. We've paid you for the artwork, so you're squared away. But then we also go, well, if it's a small collection of people, I think Baller Bill was the last one in. Hong Kong Strong was the one before that. But if people don't buy this, it's like, I'm not losing any sleep because they're not getting the benefits. It's better for me to be smaller and more exclusive than have every person on Stella involved. But I do also want to have a little kind of stepping stone.
It is a stepping stone. It's a stepping stone, man. You know, that's the thing. Like, you know, when we're done with this, what comes next? You know, it's like one of those things. What do we learn from this? How do we evolve? You know, I think that's how I feel about my collections every day is when I'm creating something, you know. It's one of those things where like I take a step back and I go, well, what have I learned from the things that I've done and how things have gone since I started, and then new ideas come. If I get that Stellar Punk game done in a reasonable amount of time, I will have figured out how to use that sort of format for any number of little video games. You know, it's the same way Cheesley's got the boards, and those games can go far beyond just being little video games. You may play those little games and then get access to something else that forces you to go outside. You know, I know Action Token's working on a real, like, one of those, like, you had talked about how like mindless that Pokemon Go game is, and people like looking at their phones outside and like tapping to like collect monsters, but they're working on a thing very similar to that for crypto, for an NFT aspect. You know, to go outside with your phone in an AR sort of reality, and it's just like the possibilities are really endless with this stuff. It's going to be really cool. To see that, you know, it really is. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I think at this point,
my wife used to go out maybe 5 years ago or something, and I was like, "What are you doing?" I'll be driving the car, and she'd be like with her phone like this, and it was like special offers and then cash prize boxes. So they would get essentially loads of advertisers that would say, like, 2 for 1 at a local restaurant or whatever it might be. And you could just go along with your phone in exactly what I think Action Token you're talking about there is like, you kind of tap onto the box when you find one.
Right.
And then you'd be like saying to me, left it, left. I was like, why, Cal? We're going to like the supermarket or something. Why do you want to go left?
No, forget it. Forget the supermarket.
There's 3 boxes down here, and I'm like, oh my god, there's 3 boxes. And she was having me driving around these other streets, clicking on these boxes to see what was inside. Crazy, but true.
Hey, my cats agree to this statement. I mean, if you can tell, they're so excited about this whole idea. But it reminded me when you were sending me pictures. You were at that restaurant that had all those very elaborate paintings, and you shared some of that on Twitter. And I immediately thought, like, what if, that was a requirement in the Extreme Crew to go to one of these places that's got all this art on the walls. And in one of those pieces of art is hidden, a QR code that ties to the game. And, it's just then you're looking at a real world puzzle, because then you're looking at a whole like wall of stuff trying to find the one piece that's actually fake, because we can't put a QR code on an old piece of painting, but we'll make something up to look like it. Like, that would be a lot of fun to like fool people in that sort of manner.
I think that's that on I think Nora and I talked about this last year, and I'm not sure whether we talked about any shows, but we were talking about this blend of the virtual and the physical, and how you get that right, whether it's like with, a lot of his stuff with the QR codes on his merch and those kind of things, and then going, okay, you buy this, you click onto this and it takes you here, you go online and back offline. And, and I think there's going to be a lot of that stuff coming with,
there is. There definitely is.
And in different projects on Stella, definitely. It's all coming down the track, isn't it?
I think so, because there's so much that people are talking about and trying. That's the thing, is that testing and building takes time, and sometimes these things just all end up coming out at once because people tend to gravitate to each other's like energy, and then that kind of gets things done. But let's see here, how many stellar
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, actually. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, because there's a few people that I know will be interested. So I'm going to put up the boss. who was the extra one, right, that you created for the Extreme crew. I'm going to put up the boss tonight on what we're looking at now. I'll put it up on a 6-hour auction tonight.
Okay.
Since we're doing the show now. So if anyone does want to get into the Extreme crew.
Let me pull up the boss.
Oh, okay. You pull up the boss. And someone said, I don't know, did you see the message? I think it was Jack that said that Fred's wife has come up with something that's quite interesting. Have a look at Fresh Mints.
Oh, I know. I saw like some logos, but is there something more to that? I didn't look at them. But let me pull up the boss real quick, and then I'll go take a look at that. So I'm guessing it's coded with something interesting. Is what's happening here. Those two, I don't know how much sleep and personal time they get, but they sure spend a lot of time trying to make Light Mint the best it can be. I can't find the.
When you go and have a look at other marketplaces, I think it shows Light Mint in how good it is. When you go and try and go. I mean, we've been across onto various different networks and had a look at like NFT marketplaces, and there's a lot of them are really bad, isn't there? A heck of a lot, a high percentage are really, really bad.
Okay, she's got something up here. Yeah, it's really bad. You've even got like now the most popular place, OpenSea, having sort of regulatory concerns with people and blocking countries out. And people are losing access. They're losing their collections. There's all sorts of wild news being thrown out there. I hope the things that are the worst aren't really true, but it's an interesting world we're living in. So this is something that we have up here. Test live on lock. So I'm guessing they're testing out the unlockable content thing. I don't really know. I don't see much more other than that on the piece, but that must mean we're like a couple hours away, whatever that means. They're doing something with that. I'm guessing.
Yeah. That's great. That's great news that we're going to be able to.
There's another one. There's also a lot of Shiba pups that have been freshly minted. Tests 2, 3, 4, and 5. Huh. Okay, they're working away.
Okay.
I like that. I like that color setup that they've gone with today. So, as I'm looking around,
should we do it while you're looking around? Should we do the draw?
Yeah, let's do the draw. How many we got? It's Stellar Women Rule. Maybe type that in a few more times. I'm going to bring up the Stella.
Yes. Just call
I'm going to bring up the Stella that I'm going to give out.
And have a look for the boss as well. Let's show people the boss. I'll put that on as soon as I finish this.
Yep.
So this is the Stella we're giving out?
Yep, that's the Stella.
I'm loving it. Lumen Swap logo.
Lumen Swap patch.
Oh. Hang on a second. I'm going to go in the hunt. Hang on. For this. So.
Yeah. Let's see here. That's a pretty recent mint that I gave you. The boss. It was like right before I started Stella's. So yeah, the other idea is that I was going to start tying in my other women characters that I have. So like doing eventually a traditional lady punk Stella in some sort of design. The comic book series that I'm doing with Chris, Legends of Folk, has a myriad of women characters. Women from history, sort of folk heroes, if you will, because that's what it's mostly wrapped around. So like a Mulan Stella should definitely be a thing. A few other characters in there. So
we have 16 people, so I'm going to share that screen now. We've had plenty of time. Guys, if you haven't done it, last minute to do Stellar Women Rule in the comments. And then we will get that super cool Stella. While I'm doing this, Ink's going to just find the boss, and then we'll share the boss afterwards. So I'm going to share this screen now. And we will do the giveaway. Stella Women Rule for one of Ink's Stellas. Here we go. Let's share it. Off we go.
Nobody's ripping me off this week.
No, exactly. Here we go.
Why is he not popping up?
Hey, Lemon.
Lux has got herself a Stella.
Oh, brilliant.
Awesome.
I'm delighted. It's one of the females.
Lemon, congratulations. That's awesome. So awesome.
That also means that you have now got more women than guys in the Stellas.
In the Stella group. The Stella Club has got more women in it. Thank God.
Brilliant. Well done. That's
international.
That's super cool. Congratulations. I'm delighted. Okay, did we find
congratulations, Lemon. I'm still, I don't know why I'm not finding him. Did I send you the link to him through Twitter?
I think you did. Excuse me.
Let me just give me a second here. There he is. That's so weird. Oh, no tags.
Oh, is that the reason why?
Sometimes if I don't tag them, they don't pop up.
I got you.
In my on my store.
Yeah.
So that's just a little heads up for anybody out there that's like, where's my stuff on my store? And tag it, it'll immediately arrive. It's sort of like a Twitter thing. Okay.
Just while we're finding the boss for you guys to show you the boss. We have brand new systems with Drift Exchange. We've now got holding rewards starting today at 6 o'clock. So in 1 hour's time, you've got an hour to get yourself some drift. We've got a holding reward that will run consecutively every month, the whole of the calendar month from 0001, on the first UTC time or London local, all the way through to the 31st, if there's 31 days in the month, 23.59. And then on the 1st, there will be a payment made. It's a tiered payment now. So if you've got 300,000 drift, you get tier 1. If you've got 500,000 drift, you get tiers 1 and 2. And if you've got 1 million drift, you get tiers 1, 2, and 3 paid to you every single month just for holding. So here's the boss.
All right, well, I'm set. Sorry, excuse me. That's awesome. That's awesome news. We need, get yourself a bag of drifts. I mean, it's so low right now. The whole market is so low. It's never gonna stay this low for this long. It's gonna happen. It's gonna break out. And
we're also bringing. I'm
not financial advice.
But we're also, now bringing in a weekly buyback of drift as well. So even if the market stays sideways, we're bringing in where we're doing our auction sales. There's going to be 4 auction sales a week, and those auction sales are all going to be in either XLM or Drift. So we're going to be having our usual Drift X02, but we're also going to be having that. And the XLM is going to be used to buy back Drift, and then we're going to be doing other things with it. So with the holding reward, the LPs, and this, it's a great time to be getting a hold of a big bag of drift.
Lemon was wondering how much was that again? I'm guessing the tiers. If you could just go over the tiers one more time for people.
Tiers, 300,000 bottom level. 300,000. Hold that for the calendar month. Like Lumen Swap. We've basically taken it from Lumen Swap and from Rabbit. But you have, with those guys, you have a set percentage, don't you? So you get like 1.4% this month from Lumen Swap. Well, with ours is all of the wallets that are above 300,000, right? So 300,000 and upwards are all going to share 1 million tokens, and it is going to be in exactly the same chunks. So it's not going to be me doing like I'm doing now, a whole host of transactions for different amounts. It's going to be 1 million divided by wallets above 300,000, shared amongst you. Great. If you are then in 500,000 level, you will get 300,000 tokens that are shared between everyone over 500,000, right? If you're in the top tier of the cake and you're in the 1 million plus, you get 200,000 shared between you. At the time when I put it together, there was about 31 wallets over 300,000. So we don't pay to the team wallets. right? So that you take those out, you cancel those out. So essentially, you can go to the Explorer, you can look for drift tokens, you can look for 300,000. How many wallets above that? That will be divided on the first of every month, between those people. But you get not just that one layer. As you accumulate more drift, you move up to 500,000. Accumulate more, you move up to 1 million, and you get all 3 layers of that cake, which at the moment, even the bottom layer is running, I think Chicken Tacos worked out to be about 8%, which over the space of a year, of course, is 96% APR. So for holding an asset, a single asset, 96% as of now, which is pretty much unheard of.
Brilliant. This is brilliant. And then that's like, then you got people that are in the game, what they're getting. And it's just like, this is like one of the greatest projects out there. I can't wait for more people to really catch on. Colette was wondering if they can use Drifto2 tokens. Nope, to buy the boss. It is no, you cannot.
I'll tell you the reason, guys. I'll tell you the reason for this. A lot of questions centered around the Extreme crew. What happens is I take the revenue that is created by these legacy pieces, and we utilize that back into art acquisition, pay in ink for the other characters.
Yeah, actually, I get 10% back on sales on the legacy NFTs now. That was an agreement after round 1. So you guys are actually helping me by buying, but and then helping other artists, like Ben said. So this is being used
like with Dablo. What we will do is we will utilize that, but also back into paying into the centralized pool. We have a couple of things that we're doing as well, which helps us earn yield on this that's sold, and that's the reason why it's $1,000. Right? It's $1,000 for a variety of different reasons. My time is one of them. But like for all of the different quality of the artwork and all of the airdrops and all of the other stuff, it has to have that baseline where we say, okay, if I had it, imagine it was $10. You come in, I couldn't afford to buy the art. I couldn't pay anything to ink. So you get the idea. It has to be a certain value. But we want to bring the game inside down for people to come in at a stepping stone entrance level. But this is going to go up today. I'll put it on my Twitter.
6 hours.
6-hour auction starting as soon as we finish this. And then you can get your hands on this. This will be in drift only, a drift only auction, right?
Yep. Now, when you find this hashtag, the legacy game, that's going to bring up the entire collection. I've actually got a whole collection on my homepage for the Drift Legacy game. So you can take a look at all the cool art, including the coins, the other pieces that people may have. Does anyone have the Legacy 2 Gangster?
No. Okay. They have legacy, but the animated getaway card not being up for sale
yet.
Lots of questions coming in with regards to the drift pools. Okay, this is a separate thing. 3 rewards: 1 drift XLM, 1 drift ISX, 1 holding reward. Yeah, we do not take into consideration the LPs that are on a weekly payout in the holding reward. Okay, it's not like Lumen Swap where they take that into consideration. You choose which of those 3 or all 3 that you want to do. Yeah, if you're holding assets or you've got assets in the pool, you get assets for LP. If you're holding assets, you get those. And of course, some people we're moving from, yesterday was the last day we did daily rewards. We're moving to a weekly schedule. So on a Sunday between these 2 shows, I do all of the payouts for everyone, and the snapshot is any time between this show and the following show the next Sunday. There's a snapshot taken, and if you're in the pool at that time and you have more than 0.1%, you will then get paid on the Sunday. So you have a payday Sunday essentially, right? And that's what will be paid. With the holding rewards, calendar month, paid on the 1st. So you see there's 2 different things. The Sundays for the LP people, monthly on the 1st of the month, you then get whatever holding tier, right, that you've got. So if you're in that, you're in all 3, great, but it's saying you've got a little bit more thought going into, well, if you've got 300,000, if it's me, and this is not financial advice, but it's talking strategy. If it's me, I'm looking to get to 500,000. You get 500,000, you get 2 tiers of the wedding cake, 300 and 500. If you've got $1 million, you get 3 tiers. So with the $1 million ones are going to get the most rewards. coming down and then down to the 300,000.
Great.
I hope that makes sense.
That's just that's phenomenal. This is really unbelievable. So good luck, everybody. And
6 hours, Colette's Ask the Boss auction, 6 hours.
6 hours.
So it's finishing tonight, which will be evening time, right? Over in Eastern Standard Time. I think it'll be finishing evening time for you guys.
Right. So let's see. That covers a lot today. I will have more Punk loot drops come out this month. Just coming up with some other designs. I've been catching up with some commissions too that I've been a little behind on, and of course a new collection. So if anybody's interested in anything, please let me know. JPEG members, you still get 25% off on my NFTs if you're interested in anything that has a price tag on it. That's for gold and silver members. I am not going to discriminate which side you are on. Maybe I should add a second level now that there is gold members, but at the moment, as long as you are a JPEG member, you still get a discount on my art. So really, if you were looking to flip something, you could do that. I am not opposing anyone do that to make a little bit extra cash if they can. So that's I think all I have for that at the moment. Lemon, I'll get your wallet from you and send your Stella out. I love that she got the Lumen swap one.
I know, it's cool, isn't it? It's
That's so cool.
The universe.
Yeah, the universe made it happen. Totally.
It
So I don't really have anything more to add for the week. I think we've done a lot. And please go back and watch for anyone that needs info on the X Racers game. And Ben, your show is in a couple hours. Who you having anybody on?
Yeah, we got Jack. So we got
Jack.
Lots to talk about because obviously Jack's doing stuff with Nuna and JPEG and with the Mystery Club and Lumen Swap and talking strategy on Stella and marketing. And we're going to have an action-packed hour, I think. There's going to be a hell of a lot of things we've got to get through. We'll be talking some of the things that don't often get talked about. I think we'll be bringing some of them to the table as well because we like to try and be as objective as we can with the Lumen Swap show. Some good things and some not so good, but we'll cover all of that stuff and we'll keep you entertained. So 7 o'clock or 1 hour and 45, join me, Boring Crypto Channel, and we'll be bringing Jack on board.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to see Jack on there. But yeah, Colette, that's basically it. Just let me know that you put a price in. If you're a JPEG member, anybody just tell me and say, hey, I put this in. This is the 25% off of whatever price I have on. Stellar Punk will include Stellas. I mean, why the hell not? Stellar Warriors. Those are all great projects that I have a lot to do with in terms of content to be made. So, just remember when you're buying my art, you're not just buying that one NFT, you're actually buying a world's access of stuff. So, thank you, everybody. Tune in next week. Hopefully we won't have any censored comments. We were censored by the YouTube man.
Bad claim to fame now, isn't it? We've been censored.
Yeah, we were 4 kids. But
cheers,
yes.
Cheers,
also, if you buy it in Nuna, you're going to get 15% back on your Nuna purchase if you use Nuna on your tab. So when you add your currency, add it to Nuna. I'm going to do some videos on this stuff soon. But everyone, take care. Thank you, Ben. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. It's been enjoyable. See you next week. Yeah. Bye-bye.